familiar with that, but it's like the vertical jump, lane agility, lateral movements, all those types of things. And what the big thing that's really exciting about this for us is we don't get time to really, let's say, get to know these guys and everything about them. What we get the chance to do is put them on a platform to showcase A, their talent, and B, their willingness and desire to become great.
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys are fighting for a spot in the NBA, fighting for a higher paying contract. And so they're put on this stage. They're not the lottery picks of the world. They're not the Zion Williamsons. And so they're coming out here competing, giving it their all. And the most exciting thing about what we get to do is we get to see them come to our event, show up. We get to see them perform at the highest level they're capable of. And then we get to see the reward within 2 months after that. We get to see immediately what it is. And so when we talk about athletes, we talk about not just what you can do on the court, in the field, in the water, right? On the track. We talk about what can you do to prep yourself to be the best individual overall? What can you do every single day to perform at your peak level, right? And so we've actually created a platform for these athletes to take other courses while they're at our event. So we offer them a financial literacy course. We offer them tips on social media, tips on interviewing, because the people that are able to turn their passion into their profit, right? The people that are athletes that are able to really make the big bucks are the ones that have the personality that extends beyond the sport, the talent. The talent will take you to the promised land. And the better you are, right, the more money you're able to get paid because your services are worth more. But at the same time, especially in today's age, the more you're able to build your personality and your brand around who you are off the field, off the court, right, out of the water, off the track, is how you're able to really start to take your business and your personal self to that future success. And everybody wants something different when it comes to success. Athletes, entrepreneurs, salespeople, students, everybody defines success differently. And it's your job as an individual to figure out what that definition is and then take the actions necessary to do that and pursue it relentlessly. Mm-hmm. If you can do that, you are going to be A-okay in whatever avenue you are pursuing.
I like the term that you have on your website highlighted. It says elevate. And when I'm listening to you talk about, the business of being an athlete and, bringing yourselves up, it's interesting because a lot of B-level athletes that play professional sports, they learn the power of their business outside of the court or that sport and realize, hey, I can make really good money, at the same time and or after I cannot play that sport anymore. And to me, those are the ones that really figured it out. I mean, when you look at the very small percentage of the extremely high-paid athletes, that doesn't come along very often. But the ones that are B-level that figure it out outside of their sport really got it dialed in.
And that's such a wonderful thing too, because as a fan, right, we want that personality to keep being in the sport, mm-hmm. right? Because part of the reason, no matter what level athlete you are, you have your community of people that support the game or support the team or support you because of who you are as a person. And when you can find ways to keep that fan engaged, even if it's by offering them a t-shirt, right? Creating your own brand or by transforming yourself into a business person after, like those are the things that keep fans and people in love with you, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I always like to talk about when people are thinking about their career transition is start thinking about, where's your communities? Where are your piles of people that have supported you along the way? Give to them throughout the journey, and you look at a guy and he's blossomed into stardom, but Juju Smith of the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? He came in and he was expected to be good. And then he's now taken off on the field, but his brand off the field is what more people know him by than even playing football on the highest stages.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're talking about is you can leverage your athletic celebrity to create the future life that will last much, much longer than the payday you can make in the sport that you're playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm older, so, John Elway was a big name in football back in my day. I'm guessing younger generations don't even know who that is. But if you live in Colorado, there's a John Elway dealership almost on every corner, and there's a John Elway restaurant and every John Elway wine, etc. That guy clearly figured out how to monetize his short playing career into a long-term business career and did it the right way. And I know there's a lot of examples of that, but what you're talking about, your programming, teaching them how to manage their money, how to get their social media going, how to look at all other aspects of their life outside the sport, it's genius that you're providing those skills.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, whether it's through my books or through speaking when we work with different organizations and teams, whether it's with the professional basketball combine or whether it's in our individual or group coaching programs, there's one mission that I have, and it's to elevate people to the next level. It's to help people elevate themselves from where they're currently at to where they want to go based on their definition of success. Mm-hmm. And that's what I try to do in everything that we're involved in.
You know, to take a little left turn here on the conversation away from sports, and I think it'll lead into your next book. You know, people during COVID have asked me, you know, like, how do I get through this? And what we've done in my life coaching phone calls has been a lot of analysis of what people's skill set is, what they're doing, and kind of restructuring their goals in their lives. And, you know, maybe they're laid off from work. Let's just say they're a bartender, but they've got a really good social media following because of their bartending gig, right? Well, maybe they're good at social media, and there's a play for them to pursue a career in social media. Maybe it's with a marketing company, maybe it's a small firm that needs help, or maybe it's just contract work for other companies where they can monetize the time that they're not behind the bar. And what I found is once you do a deep dive on people and their skill set, right, and you look at your network of people that you're associated with, all of a sudden, there's business opportunities across the board if you're willing to look at it that way and look at your skill set and go, you know what, there is an opportunity here, and I could network with this person to grow that skill set that I have. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've looked for somebody that's good in social media to pick up one of my business clients that needs some help, but they don't have the money for a full-time employee. It's like, look, if you could do their social media as a contract worker, you could pick up a couple extra grand a month while you're sitting at home instead of playing Fortnite, you know? So
Sure.
I'm guessing when you start talking about networking, there's a lot of strength in how you build out your network.
100%. I mean, here's the simple truth. There's always opportunities to make money.
Yeah.
You can always make money doing something. It's just, are you willing to do what it's going to take to make that money, right? And the beautiful thing is we live in a time now, and we've seen during Corona, to be honest, people are spending more money than ever before on digital products and courses and opportunities to monetize your audiences.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that, right? And we're also seeing the transformation that was slowly happening, is now expedited, is everybody wants to be in the online business game. Mm-hmm. And people are willing to learn your experience. Everybody out there has some form of an experience or knowledge that you can teach. Going back to what I said a little bit earlier, is if you can teach something to somebody else, you can make money doing that. You don't have to be a world-class expert to be able to have somebody create the transformation in their life that they're looking for. You just have to be a step above where they're currently at and help them get to the step they want to be at. And, you know, the beautiful thing is, like, when you take kind of everybody and you look at that, is, you know, especially when you look at social media and people that have these big followings or everything, you know, social media can disappear overnight, mm-hmm. right? And at time of this recording, TikTok may disappear.
Right.
People have built up followings. They've made millions of dollars off it, thousands of dollars, $100,000 off of filming 15-second to 1-minute videos. Now, here's the thing. The real thing that people need to understand is that's traffic that you're borrowing, right? You need to convert that into traffic that you own. Traffic that you own is traffic that no matter what, if social media disappears, you still have it, AKA an email, AKA a phone number, AKA individual interactions. And when you can own your traffic, when you can own that, you can convert at higher rates. You can deliver them more specific trainings. You can create more opportunities to build revenue. And here's the beautiful thing. You can make money. You can make money doing anything in any industry, in any niche. So if you've been laid off bartending, you could teach other people how to bartend and not do the traditional bartending class. Maybe they use that as certification, mm-hmm. but then you can create an incredible offer to teach them how to do that. There's an entrepreneur that I look up to. His name is James Wedmore, and he made a bunch of money teaching people how to bartend.
Yeah.
And there's people that make tons of money, firearms training, tons of money, traveling. Like, there's always ways to make money. And so during this time, I know what I'd suggest to a lot of people, and you kind of alluded to this earlier, is think about what kind of lifestyle do you really want to live? right? How much money do you need to live that lifestyle? What type of hours do you want to be working? Do you want to work for somebody else? Because now it's time, more than ever before, is the time to step up and say, you know what? I'm going to try it. If you've been waiting to be an entrepreneur and you're laid off right now, go for it. You have nothing to lose, and more likely not, you can probably collect an unemployment check.
You're probably getting a stimulus check right now.
Right? So you're literally getting paid to live out a potential dream.
Yeah.
And I can promise you this, once you get started, if this is something that somebody's wanted to do, right? Or if you want to add a side hustle to what you're already doing, right? Is take that first step. Don't try to do it all overnight. Don't try to think you'll figure it out and start making a ton of money right away. But what I would suggest to you is take that first step. Think about your lifestyle that you want. Think about the relationships that you want. And we'll dive into relationships here about how important this piece is to the puzzle.
Yeah.
And then start to break that down into what are the actions that I need to take each and every day to start executing on that vision.
Yeah, interesting. Just going back to the traffic that you can own statement a minute ago, I was thinking about that as you've continued the conversation. I was working with a client that sells an online product, and I sent out a very specific email to 250 people about this product because of what it represented, and that email netted back a clear result of buyers, right? Whereas I have an influencer that wanted to do the same for this product, but he's like, I'll just do it on social media. And he's got like 50,000 followers. 0 came back, right? Because of the nature of the traffic that I owned, that specific group that I knew that it would fit, and that was a collection over time. Now I've got 15,000 people on another network, the email network, but it made more sense to focus it, and I got a huge result, right? If I didn't own that traffic, right, I wouldn't see that result. So that was such a good, I wrote it down because it's such an important statement. The other thing I wanted to touch on real fast, I want to continue on this networking, is 5 ways. I write down every day 5 ways I can make money. I had the real Brad Ray on my show a couple months ago. I don't know if you follow Brad, but he builds a lot of back-end templates for guys like Tony Robbins and stuff like that. But he says, write down 5 ways you can make money every day. On this yellow pad, one of them is eBay, right? Because you can. If you're completely desperate, you can make money on eBay any day of the week. I learned that from Gary Vee when he started talking about it. And I realized looking around my house, like, yeah, I could probably sell that guitar I'm not using or haven't used for 20 years or whatever. All of a sudden, you're bringing in some extra revenue. It gets fun. Then it's like, okay, well, how can I expand that business? Go thrift store shopping, find something you can flip on eBay. So to your point, there's a lot of opportunities out there. Right now is the time to take advantage of it. Especially if you're sitting at home and look at your network and the options.
And look too, right? You may need this time to hit the reset button, right? You loved your job. Unfortunately, you were laid off. Maybe you're in that situation and or you've been traveling a ton and now you need a breather. It's okay to relax for a second. Yeah. It's okay to hit that reset button, but then it's time to choose what the next step is going to be, what the future is going to be, because we don't know how long this is going to be. We don't know when things are going to change. What we do know is that you are in control of the things that you can control. And that is your mindset. That is the actions that you take. And that is what you're willing to do. And going back to your point too, right? Like I had a friend, she's moving. Didn't need a ton of extra money, but she was like, you know what? Let's flip a little bit. She literally sold on Instagram old books that she had and just gave discounts off of them, and sold just random clothes that she didn't want to travel with. And she made hundreds of dollars, not a couple thousand, right away. Everybody that's listening to this right now could probably make $500,000 within the next week by utilizing their current network of people or by leveraging sites that are sell from site, right? Like eBay or any of these sites that you can just put something up and people will buy. And that is, entrepreneurship. That is creativity. That is, just turning the situation around. And maybe you wanted to buy into a program to learn how to be an entrepreneur, right? Well, take that $1,000, sell 100 books that you have, sell a couple pieces of clothes, designer jeans, posters, whatever, make that $1,000, reinvest it right away, and you're going to start to multiply your money. Sometimes how to make money isn't necessarily just putting a dollar in your pocket. Sometimes it's putting $1 into something that will net you $10. Yeah,
well, investing in yourself, I think often, you see it pop up on Instagram a lot about coaches, right? What do these famous people have in common, right? They all have a coach in common. I have a coach. David Meltzer's my coach. Investing in yourself to have that coach, or like you said, investing in a program with that $1,000 extra could net you a ton of money. down the road.
100%. I mean, look, you give this example, right? Like, and I have no idea what your prices are, but we have a program called Elite Elevation Business by Connection. It's $1,000.
Yeah.
You could literally listen to this episode, sell some shit for $1,000,